Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Ncdot, and today we are continuing with US 17 southbound from last week. And this time we're going to be doing it in the Carolinas. We're going to be continuing from where we left off last week in Virginia at the state line. Oh boy, you're all about to hear me rage. Here is our first reassurance shield for US 17 in North Carolina. This time it is US 17, or signed that way. Here we are driving through a beautiful part of North Carolina, or northeastern North Carolina. We'll see another one of these later down the road. Here we are meeting North Carolina Highway 343 slash US Highway 17 Business. And Business is signed for South Mills, and Mainline is signed for Elizabeth City, which honestly, we haven't seen a mileage sign since Virginia. Here is our first mileage sign in the state of North Carolina. There was probably another down the road that I missed, but I'll find it when I do the reboot, because I do have to probably reboot this highway anyway. But here we get Elizabeth City 16, Williamston 77, which are the right choices. Here we are crossing the Intercoastal Waterway on the William I. Halstead Bridge, which I think this is gonna be one of our many times crossing this. Here is US 17 Business merging back with US 17 Mainline, but sadly we don't have a way to get over to the other side. However, if we go back in time, you can see that we once did. I'm sorry for being poor quality. The oldest I could find was 2008, the oldest of the latest. Here's a reassurance shield for US 17 on the left side of the highway for some weird reason. And here's our next mileage sign, Elizabeth City 14, Williamston 75. Here we are crossing the Pasquotate River into Elizabeth City, or Pasquotate County, really, because we're not really quite in Elizabeth City just yet. Here would be the US 158, which is next after I do northbound. We're signed for Elizabeth City and Sunbury. What? Okay, I actually agree with Dirtball on this one. This should not be Sunbury. The only reason Sunbury is signed is because of NC32, which you can take to either get to Edenton bypassing both Elizabeth City and Hertford, or you take you back up to Suffolk. But come on, who's gonna take 17 all the way down to North Carolina to get to 158 and then go back up 32 to go to Suffolk? That just seems like a waste of time. Honestly, they should just say either Murfreesboro or Roanoke Rapids. I mean, can't say Winston-Salem because that's still a little too far from here. Here is our next mileage sign. The Elizabeth City 12, Nags Head 68, and Williamston 73, which are all the right choices. Here we are meeting US 17 bypass yet South 17 East 158 Elizabeth City, because you're not quite downtown yet. 158 is the one going to downtown. 17 takes you out by the nursing home. Both nursing homes on either side of the city. And then we get 17 bypass, aka Future 87, signed for Hertford Edenton. What? Okay. I agree with Third Paw. It should not be Hertford, but Edenton shouldn't be signed either. This should be Williamston, New Bern. I know New Bern is quite a ways from here, but come on. We've seen city signs from 100 miles on US highways before. Now, you might be asking, which route am I going to be following? Well, in Dirtpark's video, he followed the main line. In my video, I'll be following bypass. Here we get onto a pretty rural area on 17 bypass. I'll show you why I followed bypass in a minute, because northbound will be following main line to business. So I won't be showing the 158 split to the 158 video. Sorry. Here on 17 bypass, we have a speed limit of 70 miles per hour, which honestly, you can knock it up to 90 because of how straight this part is. Here's the reason I got onto the bypass. This mileage sign, Hertford 18, Edenton 29. This should still say Williamston, New Bern. Here we are meeting North Carolina Highway 344, and we just get the Kentucky treatment for Halstead Boulevard Extension, which actually makes sense here because what else are you gonna sign? Can't really sign Weeksville because that's still within county. But pretty much this highway stays within the county. But if you notice, this is exit 258. The last exit I showed you was exit 264. Reason for that is because there's a 6-mile stretch between the 17 mainline split and the North Carolina 344 terminus. Between those two, there's a 6-mile stretch of roadway with no exits whatsoever. Here we are meeting Foreman Bundy Road at exit 256, because again, you have a 2-mile stretch between the two exits. So yeah, this is a half exit. The other half is 17 mainline merging back with bypass, which I will show those lanes now. Here is US 17 bypass down to one lane as it merges back with mainline. Oh, it's the other way around. Main line's down to one lane as it merges back with bypass. Yeah, my bad. Had a little brain fart. Here we are meeting Okisko Road at exit 254. Yeah, again, there's that 2-mile exit gap. And we get South 17 sign nothing. Okay, honestly, with that gantry, you could put a pole through for 17 with control cities, because there's our reassurance shield right there. But we need a control city at least. Honestly, if you want to put a control city there, put Williamston. Here we are crossing the Little River from Pasquotank to Perquimans County. Here we are reading North Carolina Highway 37, which will one day get its own video, as well as 17 business for Hertford. However, we're concurrent with southbound NC37, but it doesn't tell us that here. It just looks like 37 ends at 17, when really it doesn't. So, what's the deal with that, Ncdot? Here we are crossing the Perquimans River across the Jim Catfish Hunter Bridge into downtown Hertford, North Carolina. Now, before we get there, a little history about this bridge. US 17 was originally 2 lanes the whole way, going from Punta Gorda to Winchester. But when they were widening it to 4, they just kept the old bridge and built a parallel bridge. Here is where we meet back with US 17 business in Hertford. Here, North Carolina 37 is splitting off, and we're signed for Edenton, while NC 37 is signed for Plymouth and Columbia, which it actually goes to neither of those places. It terminates at US 64, which does go to both of those places. However, I swear to God, this should just be Williamston here. Williamston, Williamston, Williamston. Swear to God, if I see one more Edenton sign, I'm gonna lose it. Here's our next mileage sign. We haven't had one of these since Elizabeth City. We got Edenton 4, Williamston 38. Okay, as long as Williamston's there, I'm fine with it. Here is Shannon House Road, which is kind of the back way to get into Edenton without having to take the freeway in. Here we are meeting North Carolina Highway 32, a continuation of Virginia Highway 32, which we met back in Virginia to cross the James River Bridge. However, this is North Carolina Highway 32 in Edenton, and it is signed just that, instead of the Kentucky treatment, which is the right choice. Here we are crossing the Chowan River, basically at the mouth, over from Edenton into Bertie County, North Carolina. Yeah, I say at the mouth because we are basically at the mouth of the Albemarle Sound. So at this point, might as well just say Albemarle Sound. But this is the Chowan River, which comes off the Albemarle Sound. Okay, I've said enough. Let's move on. Here, US 17 is becoming an undivided highway between Mary Hill and Windsor, North Carolina. Here we're meeting North Carolina Highway 45, and we're signed for Plymouth and Coleraine. Okay, I would agree with Plymouth, but didn't we just meet NC 37? Or didn't we split off from NC 37 back there? Yeah, if you were going to Plymouth, you would have gotten off way earlier. And Coleraine is only signed because of the meeting with North Carolina Highway 42. Honestly, I think here, I don't even know what to sign here. I think northbound 45 will do. I think northbound 45 should get Murfreesboro just because of population. And then southbound, I don't even know. I mean, Mans Harbor? Nah, you would have taken 37 for that. I guess nothing we'll have to do here. This is one of those instances where I would sign nothing, because 45 is going to places that you would have gotten off earlier to go to. So yeah, nothing here works. Here's our next mileage sign, and man, it's a good one. Windsor 11, Williamston 24. Honestly, I think since we're closer to Williamston, you can actually put New Bern here. Here we are meeting old US 17, and mainline US 17 continues to follow its old alignment, but we won't be following that. We'll follow it northbound. But I think here we'll follow the bypass. Here's the bypass. We're going to a beautiful part of the bypass. Now, I mean, this bypass was built, but not to interstate standards. And it looks like there's room for it, so you want to convert this to I-87. Yeah, you can. You got the room for it here. Here we have another speed limit 70 sign, which I would say you can knock it out to 90, but due to the curves, I'd say knocking it up to just 80 would be the way to go. Here we are meeting US 13 and Business 13 soon for Ahoskie and Windsor. However, I think I might have missed the mileage sign back there, but I ain't going back to look. So, yeah. Here we are crossing the Cashy River over to Windsor, North Carolina, downtown Windsor. And here's the actual exit for US 13 and Business 13. You really don't need your blinker on to take this exit, as it's just a straight shot. Like, just turn your left blinker on and curve if you want to stay on the bypass. So, yeah, you really don't need your blinker for this exit. Here we are meeting North Carolina Highway 308. And the reason I'm showing this exit is because this intersection is because I used to take this road all the time, going from my house to Purdue in Lewiston Woodville, North Carolina, which is an unincorporated community, and it's signed the whole way with Rich Square, and Rich Square is signed on 2308 because you meet 258. Honestly, you can actually sign 308 for Tarboro, because you were going to Tarboro, you can take 308 to 258 to bypass 64. Here we are meeting the other end of Business US 13, which will take you back to downtown Windsor, or if you want to go back the way you came on 17, you can take this way as well, because it connects back. Here's our next mileage sign, and man, it's a good one. We get Williamston 10, Washington 33, and New Bern at 71 miles. Yo, this is like my favorite mileage sign on 17 right here. Holy cow. Like, I mean, I can't award the Ncdot for this one because this is what was expected. Like, come on. You're kidding, right? And also with Washington, you'd think it'd be talking about Washington, D.C. Nope. Well, I mean, if you wanted to go to D.C. from here, you can take 17 to U.S. 64, the Interstate 95, instead of going up to Virginia to take Interstate 64. Okay, confusingly, it's concurrent with both. So, yeah, that's... wow. Anyways, let's move on, right after I take this phone call. Here we're driving on another beautiful part of US 17 South. I know it says US 13 right there on Street View, but 17 shares this road, so yeah. Here we cross the Roanoke River into Williamston, North Carolina. Here we are meeting US 64. We are signed for Everett and Tarboro. And like Durpark said in his version of 17 southbound, Everett isn't even on mainline 64. It's on the alternate route. Honestly, I agree with him, and this should be Tarboro and Rocky Mount, because if you're continuing past Tarboro, then you're obviously going to Rocky Mount. Wait, then again, you don't really have an option to go north on 258 from 64 west, so that just kind of makes the junction useless. And this should probably be Rocky Mount and Raleigh, especially if you're going to convert this to I-87. Should just be Raleigh. Raleigh. the capital. Yeah, capital of North Carolina. Raleigh. Just okay. Okay, I'm probably going. Okay, I think I said Raleigh enough times. Let's continue. Here we get a future Interstate 87 sign, and it looks like they're about to do some road work. Maybe we'll figure it out once I come to 64 in a couple months. Here, US 17 is splitting off, and we are signed for Williamston, which is really for 17 business, and Washington for mainline 17. Ncdot, what the hell happened in New Bern? This should not be. I get you have the 264 junction, and Washington is at least a population, but come on, you should still have a mention of New Bern. New Bern should be the primary here. Not Washington! Ncdot! Come on! Duh! Here US 17 drops down to 2 lanes again. We haven't been on a 2-lane road since Virginia. But from what I've heard, they're in the process of widening this up to the required 4. But not up to interstate standards, however. Interstate standards would be quite expensive. Here we have one of many restricted crossing U-turn intersections, or R-cuts, on US 17, which I hate these. I just hate them because they don't allow you to make a left turn. Well, they do, but from the side road, you can only go right, and you gotta use that to go the other way, which is honestly just stupid. It's just stupid. That's like performing the Michigan left, but opposite. Ah, my fucking god. Here we are meeting US 17 business, and you gotta use this R cut to take the route. See what I mean? This is just absolutely freaking stupid. Like, come on. Ncdot, have you lost your damn minds? Here we are meeting US 264, and we're signed for Washington and Greenville. The whole damn reason Washington, North Carolina is signed. Come on, Ncdot. What is wrong with you? You can't be doing this. I just went straight to New Bern. There's nothing in between Washington and New Bern that needs to be addressed. Here we meet North Carolina Highway 55, and we have US 70 coming up in 2 miles. I can't wait to do that road. That's a monster of a road, from what I've heard. We get 55 East Bayboro, which should honestly just be Oriental, just because that's the terminus, and there's nothing between New Bern and the terminus anyway. And you get 70 East New Bern Havelock. Just put Morehead City. Come on. But notice that we don't get a pull through for 17 nor 55 because they're concurrent. That would kind of be helpful, Ncdot. Here we are crossing the Neuse River across the same bridge that we used to cross the Chowan River back in Edenton. Well, not the same exact not the same name of the bridge, but the same built type of the bridge. Like the wall type. Got like a wall in the center median, just one. And then you have 2 walls on either side with like built up girders or guardrails, whatever they're called. Here we are meeting US 70, and we're still concurrent with NC 55. But 70 is going east towards New Bern and Havelock. You know we could be signing Morehead City here, right? Then you got South 17, West 70, West 55, Kinston, Jacksonville? What? Are we in Florida? That's a stretch. Good job, Ncdot. Oh, wait. That's a Jacksonville, North Carolina, too. Dang it. Alright. Yeah. I mean, if you wanted to sign Jacksonville, Florida from here, all you had to do was slap an FL on there, and there you go. Here we are meeting US 17 business, which used to be the old alignment for US 17. So, yeah. Here we have a partially completed Cloverleaf interchange. I don't know why it's partially completed, but who that knows? Here US 17 splits off and it is signed for Jacksonville. Okay, honestly, yeah. If you're going to sign Jacksonville, you might have to put Jacksonville NC, because long distance travelers are gonna think, oh, Jacksonville, Florida? Are you serious? Even though 17 does go to Jacksonville, Florida too, that's still confusing. Yeah. Here we are crossing the Trent River from New Bern to Pollocksville, North Carolina. Here we are meeting North Carolina Highway 58, and it is signed for Pollocksville and Trenton. What? Since when did we get in New Jersey all of a sudden? Guys, I'm just kidding. I know that's talking about Trenton, North Carolina. But for those of you that don't know, yeah, there's a Trenton, North Carolina. It's not really that big. But I don't know what else to sign here, so I guess. And they got 17 and 58, Maysville, Jacksonville. What the heck? No, I'm sorry. What the hell? What is going on here? This sign is just all over the place. Like, bruh. Like, are we in Jersey or are we in Florida? Like, come on, Ncdot. I mean, Jacksonville's fine. Trenton, I don't know what else he would sign. But I think, yeah, I don't know what else to sign here. I skipped to Jacksonville. There's nothing in between New Bern and Jacksonville. Here we get South 17 Business 2258, downtown Jacksonville. You get South 17 to North Carolina Highway 24, signed Camp Lejeune, Morehead City, and Wilmington. I mean, for what I'm hearing, if you were stationed in Camp Lejeune between 1952 and 53 and 1987, you could have been exposed to toxic waters. Oh, yeah. Oh, you weren't stationed there at that time, because if you weren't and you got exposed to it and then later got diagnosed with some disease, I'm sorry for what you're going through. I truly am. Here we are crossing the New River over from north downtown Jacksonville to south downtown Jacksonville. Here we split off from NC 24, and it is like 2258 Richlands and Kinston, while 17 South is signed Wilmington. I don't know about Richlands. Kinston, you meet 17 South Wilmington. Right choice. Largest coastal city, so obviously. Here in Holly Ridge, we are going from a 4-lane divided highway to a 5-lane undivided highway, like we did in Bertie County and Williamston. Here we are in downtown Holly Ridge, North Carolina, meeting North Carolina Highway 50, not to be confused with US 50, and we get South 17 Wilmington and North 50 Maple Hill. Honestly, that should just be Warsaw. I'm sorry. Just dog. No. Here we're splitting from North Carolina Highway 210, and it is signed for Rocky Point. I've heard of Rocky Mount, but not Rocky Point. But 17 is signed Wilmington, which I have heard of. So, yeah. And we also get a mention of Interstate 40, which I'll eventually cover one day. Here we are meeting North Carolina Highway 140, which will eventually become Interstate 140. We get 140, 240, Charlotte, Myrtle Beach, and Raleigh. And we get 17 South, Myrtle Beach. I'm sorry, Wilmington. Now, the Xavier 456 actually did a video on Interstate /NC 140, so I'll have a link to that video down in the description for you to check out after this one. Here we meet US 74 one of two times here. I say one of two times because we do meet it a second time. I'll show you that in a little bit. Here we meet US 117 and NC 132, and looks like it's 117 and 132 South are signed State Port and Carolina Beach, while North is signed for University of North Carolina Wilmington. Wow, 17 and 76 I signed nothing. Okay, you could just put Myrtle Beach or Charleston here. Honestly, I don't know where we met US 76 at. Did it just spawn out of nowhere like 17 dots in Winchester? Here we cross the Cape Fear River across a pretty cool bridge. This is 2 of 3 bridges that you will see. And here we meet US 74 for the second time. And we get 2 Interstate 40, E74, North 421, North 133, Battleship NC, and Clinton. Okay, Clinton's there because of 421. They get South 17, West 74, West 76, South 133, 2 Brunswick County beaches, and Lumberton. Okay, they're just trying to avoid signing a city in South Carolina as best as possible. Here US 17 splits from US 74 and 76, and 74 and 76 signed Whiteville and Lumberton, while 17 is signed Brunswick County beaches. See what I mean? God! And I just skipped to the South Carolina state line because this video is already at 33 minutes. And also, no state welcome sign? All we get is this? Oh my god. Oh my god. You know what? I'm just gonna end the video here before I just burst out. I just, lash out. Thank you guys for watching.